Basically what we're doing today is we're going to spin a wheel and build whatever is on there. If you want the wheel for yourself, it is on my website. You just have to click this and then it brings you to the wheel. And I need to place our town, but I wanted to show you where to get it in case you wanted to build along. So if you go to my gallery, which is Salmon Bean, all one word, should be the most recent thing. Nope, that's not true. It's this one, Tiny Town for Tiny Homes. This is the one that we're using today. Anything that doesn't place should just get replaced by base game stuff because it's fences and things. Let's spin a wheel and see what we're building first. So we're starting with an English Tudor, which is the European style. That's fun. This is the style we're going for here. But it's called half timber because that was the method of construction. What do I want to do? Maybe just build a really small version of what I've built in the past, which would be kitchen, dining, and living all on the one side. And then these homes would often have like a shop area as well, like you'd run your business out of your house. So I kind of want to do something like that over on the side. And then upstairs we'll put bedrooms and things. We're going to put the fireplace in the middle because that should radiate heat up through the middle of the build as well, which will help keep the bedrooms nice and warm. That'll be good. So we have 2 bedrooms over on this side, and then we can do slightly larger bedroom on this side and put the bathroom downstairs, I think. And then basically this will be our entry point where we can enter either our little community, like shop or whatever area over here. Then the main living space will be over here with a centralized fireplace and staircase heading upstairs. Bathroom, yeah, this is a pretty nice little house. Yeah, this is basically just a copy of the house that I built in the actual Build Like a Nerd series, but I'm okay with that. Another difference between the European Tudor versus the American Tudor is the European tends to not really have much of a foundation, if any at all. I like a foundation, so I'm going to go ahead and place it up on a tiny one. There we go. This is the lighting. Also, I just realized if this is only sticking out 1, my roof is going to be a little bit weird. So what I'm going to do instead is pull it out 2 so that I can make my roof just be the 1 tile wide and then hold shift to pull this even. That way I can pitch it up, but it won't actually clip into the second story. I want to add a trim around the base of this, but I think I should probably pick my wallpaper first. I'm just going to go ahead and sort by Get Together, because Get Together is like basically the pack for the half timber for the European Tudor style, which is what we're doing here. Here's the thing, I call it European Tudor as well as the half timber for a couple of reasons. A lot of us associate this style with Tudor, like that's what we call it, but technically this would be called half timber as the Tudor style was actually like castles and stuff. We love castles, but the half timber is the method of construction. Also, when I'm building these like old-fashioned European ones, I like to use the exact same wallpaper inside and outside because these timbers would be so thick they'd actually be on both sides of the wall. We're gonna grab some windows. Another thing when you're building this style is you're very rarely going to see like just a window hanging out. Usually they're going to be grouped, and if I just use all the same pack, I should in theory be able to match the wood tones fairly well. The front door is pretty much going to be, I don't know, medieval inspired. It's going to have that bit of an arch to it, generally quite thick, and then I can match my wood color to my roof trim, or at least get kind of close. And for the roof, we can either use large shingles like this that are going to kind of look like slate, or we can go with a thatched texture. This is the base game one. It is terrible. Ooh, this actually looks pretty good. I like this one. What else do I need to do here? I do need to add a couple of columns. I'm going to use the Get Together columns, just the simple ones. Now the front door should also be covered. Usually it's going to be covered by sort of recessing it into the build, which I'll go ahead and do there. Yes, okay, I knew something was wrong. That's what it was. For the floor, we can use stone or wood. I think I'm going to go with stone on the first floor. And then upstairs I'll use some wood. Oh, I should probably put some windows on the back as well though. And like I said, we're going to grab a fireplace toward the center here. Now these could be toward the center, they could be toward the outside. However, if they were toward the center, there's a better chance of you not freezing to death in your sleep. And I think that's pretty cool. So we're gonna do that. I want like a really old-fashioned one. This might be the best option I have today. Yeah, like I want a really old-fashioned looking counter, not rustic old-fashioned, but just like it's 300 years old old-fashioned. I would like that very much. So then for the rest of the space, you'd put dining here, living room would be over here. I will go ahead and do a bathroom. Get Together is one of my absolute favorite packs. Last stream, I think I kept saying Growing Together instead of Get Together, which is embarrassing. Growing Together is fine. Get Together is clearly superior though. So I'm going to do some cottage garden style flowers here. I'm going to start with sorting out where I actually want my garden to be with some dirt, and then I will go in with my plants. I'm sure this will not cause any lag issues whatsoever. And then I'll go back in with my dirt to finish it up and make my path. See? It's fine. And I probably won't be doing this landscaping style on other things, but it's nice for this particular style of build, I think. So we're moving on to the next lot then, I guess. Saltbox Colonial. So the Saltbox Colonial started out like most colonials, where it was just sort of a rectangle. This was the original shape. However, so many people started adding an addition to the back, thus changing the roof shape. People thought that was really cool, so then they decided they also wanted an addition on the back to change the roof shape as soon as it was constructed. So they started being constructed like this instead, which is fun. I'm going to start with a gable on top and a half gable on the back, and there's your saltbox shape. And then the floor plan inside would be similar to a lot of other colonials, or you could just do whatever you want. Maybe I will make it one tile wider. So then I can have a hallway here with some stairs. And then upstairs we'll put our bedrooms. This could just be like a completely open space or be open to the floor down below, but I think I'm going to go ahead and put 2 decent sized bedrooms up here. What if we do this and then just do kitchen and dining on one side and living on the other? Most United States colonials, I should say, specifically on the east side, are all going to have pretty much the same windows. This one, the octopane, it would have 8 panes and it would be able to open, and that's it. I can show you the Pinterest board though. So that would be in my colonial homes here, and the salt box. There it is. So there, here are some salt boxes. Now a lot of these you can see have had even more additions put on. It started just like this, and then they're like, hey, if we actually add an addition to the back and make the roof slope down, that looks cool. So now we're gonna build all of them like that. This is what salt was stored in at the time, hence Saltbox Colonial. That's looking pretty saltboxy. Oh, I just realized the gate's gonna be off center to the door now. Would you like to cooperate for like 2 seconds? There we go. Ha! Fixed it. And then inside, I'm gonna go ahead and stick with some wooden floorboards, probably just the same ones I was just using because I like them, upstairs and down. Oh, you could also use brick actually for the whole construction of the home. Lighting, historically inaccurate, but nice. Yeah, look, the lights are already struggling to show up, so that is why we are not furnishing today. Gosh, I don't remember that much about the salt box, honestly. That's one of the ones that I did a long time ago, so I'm going to default to using my escargot cabinets and putting it in the back because I feel like that's the least risky decision, historically speaking. I'm going to do apparently the exact same kitchen layout that I just did. Evidently that's what's in my brain today. There we go. And then dining and all the living space over here. I am going to add another door leading outside over here though. There we go. I feel like this should be brick. Honestly, the longer I'm looking at it, the more I'm realizing it should really be bricks. Bathroom is next. Not too old-fashioned. I think the people that live here have updated the house a bit. Toilet paper for all. Okay. See, like, this is one of the things. I don't remember if the fireplace is supposed to be on the inside or the outside. Looks like middle, according to these chimneys. So I'll go ahead and put a fireplace in the middle here. Nifty. I'm not going to add windows at the side, again, for, like, rendering and whatever, but I will add a few plants. We could add some shrubs. So there's a Saltbox Colonial, which looks way smaller than the Tudor, but that's just because the Tudor has such a steeply pitched roof and the Saltbox doesn't. It's one of America's oldest styles and is still extremely popular to this day. What's the theme for the next build? We don't know yet. Gotta spin. A Craftsman Bungalow, which looks kind of like this. A lot of you are probably familiar with this. A lot of these homes were sold as kits through the Sears Roebuck catalog. We could do a 1-story, we could do, that's the other thing, it's usually like 1.5 story, and we really can't do 1.5 story well in The Sims 4. I want a kitchen and dining, and then we definitely need a nice deep front porch, so I'll put that over here. Basically pull this back and then figure out the rest of the space. Okay, let's do this. Bathroom, bedroom, kitchen, dining, main living space, and our nice front porch. We should have a front and back deck, both of which pretty wide, 3 or 4 tiles, but this is a small lot, so we're gonna do what we can do. And this one will be on a foundation, for sure. So pop that up. Something you might see then would be another roof piece sort of crossing in between like this. Right, so we could do that. Or, let's see if it's tall enough to actually add a dormer. It is. Yay. So we'll add a little bit of a dormer, but it won't actually be a 2nd story because I'm not going to mess with that. That's what I got. So the Craftsman style was built almost as, not like full-on opposition. Basically, design was being heavily industrialized at the time, and so the Craftsman, the arts and crafts, rather, movement was born, where people were taking art more seriously and they were trying to lean more into nature using natural materials. stuff like that. How do we not have a square version of this window? Yeah, they're very much against the industrialization of design. They were very much for going back to traditional building methods, and that's sort of where the Craftsman home style came from. This is a good window to talk about some of the other Craftsman elements though. So something you'll see on a lot of the Craftsman homes is this idea of having a ton of small panes on the top half of the window and then a solid pane of glass below. That's a really popular window pane arrangement, which you can kind of see over here, although this is definitely a more decorative way to do that. I think I'm going to grab my columns and just make my own arch. I forgot to do floors and walls. I got distracted doing a kitchen. Anyway, hey, there's a kitchen. So for walls and floors and lighting and so on, a whole lot of wood is used in these. Now this is a relatively newer style. This is like early 1900s, so I won't use as old looking flooring because that's the little bit of storytelling I can control in this game, but we will use wooden floors and our walls are going to have paneling on them as well. I like this paneling in particular. I like how far up on the wall it goes. I don't know if it's going to work with my floor color though. Maybe. And then outside we are going to be looking at stone, brick, and or siding, or some combination thereof. I'm using my same shingles that I just used because I like them. And I am going to use a boxier roof trim on this and try to match the wood tones. But something tells me that's not going to happen and I should just give up. Okay. For doors leading into other rooms, I'm going to go with a paneled door. Got that going on. I don't think I'm going to put a fireplace here because we went for the arches instead, but I will add a bathroom. For a sink in here, I just want something simple, probably just the Seasons one, honestly. Another toilet. That'll work. Oh, and toilet paper. Alright, so outside we definitely need a lot of columns. I'm going to use these same columns I've been using, and we're also going to grab the same spandrel. I wish we had a good 3-tile gate. We really don't. And of course, we can't use Alt to slide the gate or use quarter tile placement because that's already enabled, which is really frustrating. So we're just going to have to stick with that little fence. I'm keeping the wide stairs though because that's a classic of the style. Do I have space for landscaping? Barely, technically. These are kind of wide though, so if I just sort of put those in, we'll pretend that works. Okay, we'll put some dirt under here. It's going to be fine. It's fine. So, here's our attempt at a little Craftsman Bungalow. The key elements of this one are going to be the lower sloped roof, which should be a little bit lower than this, admittedly, but on such a small lot, it's difficult to do that and still get that dormer up there, so we kept the dormer and just pitched the roof up a little bit. But yeah, there's a little Craftsman Bungalow. So we've got 3 very distinct styles here, so that's really fun. So our next house style will be a Dutch Colonial. Fantastic. So the main element of a Dutch Colonial home is the roof shape. So we'll talk about how to get that roof shape. And my favorite fun fact about the Dutch Colonial is this was a tax advantage because of the way that the roof is shaped. You can tell that the attic space would actually be quite large, almost like a full second story, but it's not technically a second story. So it would only be taxed as a 1-story home, but you basically get 2 stories of living. And I think that's hilarious, which is the story behind the sticker that I made with just a little tax evasion. So that's a Dutch Colonial. The originals would only be 2 or 3 rooms on the main floor, sort of all stacked side by side by side. Could be something like this, where you have the main living space and then some kitchen and whatever happening over here. And then as they went on, they might be split into 3 rooms like this with some additional sleeping space. For the roof to work properly though, you kind of want to make a gigantic plus sign like that. So for this one, I'm going to hold Alt on my keyboard to push this back to keep the same height. And then the top part of the roof here, I'm also going to get rid of these eaves on the side and then just pitch it down a little bit. And there we go. There's our roof shape. You can get this to be steeper by pushing it back another tile. You could also curve it if you wanted to. I'm not going to mess with curves today. I'm just going to leave it straight like that. For the top, we can have a gable. Now we could have the gable running in this direction to cover the dormers, or we could have it running the other direction to basically look like 2 half gables. I think I'm going to go with this because that's cute. Yay! We'll also typically see a small deck right at the front with some sort of cover on it for the entry point. And I'm going to raise it up on just a little bit of a foundation. And that'll give us a nice big space for our front door. I often use the cats and dogs pack for this style because so much of that world is Dutch Colonial. And if you can just pick a pack to go with for your build, do that because it makes picking doors and windows so much easier. Now the bedrooms upstairs are going to be a little bit weird. We could pretty easily split it just like this, or we could do something like this, where then I'm going to have a main bedroom with an ensuite here. I'll make that one a little bit bigger. And then 2 pretty good sized bedrooms there for children or whatnot. Colonial's only having 1 layout for the rooms. Well, okay, so that's the other thing about a colonial. The colonial means that it was built in the colonial days of, I mean, wherever you're building from. I primarily do United States style stuff because that's where I'm from, so it's easier for me, which means a lot of these were built in the original 13 colonies, which means a lot of people were just in the same general space. So yes, a lot of these came from like the same general base, like core house, but then developed all of their original, or are their own unique styles as well. So yeah, outside we can do shingles, we can do siding, we can do bricks, we can do stone. Maybe not, maybe I will do shingles. Ooh, let's use the growing together ones. I think that this would be lovely. Inside, I think once again I want something with some paneling on the bottom. Might just have to go with this one. Just pick a nice light color though, it'll be fine. Oh, and some columns. We do need some columns up front. Nothing too fancy, and I can't believe we still don't have plain rectangular columns in the base game. And I do have a full-size, full-length tutorial of this style available on YouTube for anybody who may be interested, which goes way more into the historical aspect. It's a lot more historically accurate as well, because this is a tiny, tiny version. Technically, this is an island living plant, but it's just so convenient for covering large pieces of ground quickly. And there's a little Dutch colonial. So again, the main factors that you're going to see in a traditional Dutch colonial be a very wide single dormer, this specific roof shape, a covered front entry with a small deck, but it's just been so widely used for so long. I completely forgot to finish the inside, so I'm actually going to do that. It's been so widely used for so long that you may see some of these elements mixing with other styles. I'm using the in-counter appliances today because I pretty much never use them. We're going to give these people a dishwasher, because we're just feeling that fancy today. Okay, so we've got that going for us, and we'll do a couple of bathrooms. I think both bathrooms can be full baths, which is nice. Ha! Delightful. Toilet paper, don't worry, I didn't forget. I think that's the whole house. I think everybody has doors, everybody has lights, everybody has windows. Actually really cute. I bet we could do a little office space here if we wanted to, but that would require furnishing, which we are not doing because the lot is already struggling. So far, we have done an English style Tudor or half timber style, the Saltbox Colonial, the Craftsman Bungalow. I was trying to mix the B and the C in my head, and I was like, that's not right. Craftsman Bungalow, that's not a thing. And then the Dutch Colonial. A Prairie Craftsman. Okay, Craftsman again. What are we going to see that's the same? We're going to see the columns, the same general window and door shapes. Those are all classic elements. However, what makes it a Prairie style Craftsman is generally going to be a heavy emphasis on my favorite, horizontal lines. So we can see that we have the very low pitched roof, which is a very common thing here. We have a lot of stone laid in a horizontal type format. We have a lot of bricks, a lot of siding, very, very low to the ground. And it's supposed to somewhat resemble like how prairies look, where there's just a lot of plains involved in prairies. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and build it toward the back pretty much. We'll have the same general shape, but I will actually add a second level here. And then for the deck, roof, and everything, we're actually going to use a half hipped roof piece, not a half gable. I saw that on a lot of those builds as well. So for this one, I'll bring my half hipped out, bring the eaves down, and then just pitch it down pretty severely, and then grab a hipped roof piece for up top as well. If we wanted to, we could make it have a little bit more dimension by bringing out a little bit of something here. I think I will, just because it's so flat. It's not much, but it'll work. Oh, we have the bus stop sort of clipping into it now. Let's see if I can scooch this at all. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, maybe we just won't put windows on the back of this one. Oh, we're also going to see a lot of, like, very earthy tones. I want the windows to be very long. I'm still using the wide steps. I think it's fun. Like, it's different, right? It's different to what we have going on so far, and that's kind of my goal here. And then inside, Craftsman again. So we're going to be looking at paneling on the wall where possible. There we go. It's great. Yay. See, this will be living space. That's fine and dandy. And then over here, we'll do kitchen and dining. I think I'll put the dining at the front with all the big windows, and then we'll put a kitchen back here. Yeah, Prairie style is definitely, like I've said with a few of these, this is one that I built quite a while ago, so I feel like I've forgotten several things. But if you want to learn more, I recommend the original series, because all of the facts would have been fresh in my brain at the time, not to mention I was literally working from a script. For example, I'm not 100% sure if this color scheme is, like, correct, but it's what I'm going with today. Yay, and now we have to make a full bath upstairs because those are incredibly handy. I don't know if we can do a built-in here. Nah, I'll just stick with a bathtub. And a better mirror as well. think that's about that. I'm not putting windows on the back of this one. This, oh gosh. The gallery thumbnail for this is going to be rough. And next up is a bike shop. I think I'll do a building on this side, a floor over here. This will be where the bikes are stored. And then, what else? I'll have this hang over the front. Yeah, I think that's fine. We'll do a nice glass door. Maybe that's a good idea, because that's wide enough for you to get your bike inside. I just realized I don't really need the floor there since I'm not actually going to be raising it on a foundation or anything. Okay, and then for the structure itself, maybe that, perhaps. And then I need the inlaid exterior trim to cover up the little bit of white at the bottom. That works, that's fine. We'll pretend that makes sense. Okay, now with growing together, I'll decorate this one a little bit since it's a community style lot. Did we get decal things with growing together that had bicyclists, or was it just jump roping? Interesting, interesting. Rats. I don't know if I have any decorations that have lighting. Not lighting, biking. Sorry, I was looking for lighting and saying words at the same time, which is dangerous. Let's see, let's put some kids' bikes over here. Bikes for children, and bikes for the grown-ups, which for whatever reason are 4 tiles. And I don't know if they're actually 4 tiles, you know? Wait, is it just those options? Isn't there one from Eco? Eco bikes are live edit. Oh, dang it. I think this is neat. Let's put this over here. But then I want like a workbench in the back. Ah, here we go. Spokes for folks. Tools. Tools for bicycles. Yay. Wow, it feels really empty in here. Do that. I think I'll put a nice tree over here. Just one of the little ones. So it can cover up the street lamp. I feel like that's quite realistic. A sale counter. Okay, I think I understand what you guys are saying now. There we go. Now you can come up. You could check out your bikes. You could go ride around places. Water bottles. Wait, does Spa Day have like a little refrigerator thingy? Lukewarm mini dispenser. That's great. Or we could add one of the vending machines. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Good idea. I think this is alright. I don't want to decorate too much for lag reasons, but I think that's a cute little bike shop. People can bike around. It's fantastic. It's fabulous. Yeah. Cool. Moving on to the next one, I suppose. Okay, next up. A botanical garden. Okay, so I am going to go back to Pinterest. Okay, so if I type in botanical garden, we get a bunch of stuff like this. And the only garden I've been to frequently has been Meyer Gardens in the Grand Rapids area, which is a beautiful place. This is really pretty. Because I feel like an inside thing, actually, this is really pretty. Should we build this? Alright, so we'll have a fountain inside. We definitely need a lot of windows. Because I was thinking of these windows, but if we use this one, I think that will actually work pretty well. And then if I move this over one, please don't actually delete the fence. Or delete the fence, that's fine. We could do this. I have a plan, I promise. There we go, and then we can actually place the windows all the way across, which will work okay with the roof shape. I do have to sort out a door situation though, so we'll work on that next. That's a choice. That also blends in fairly well. We'll keep working with it. We'll see how it turns out. And then I should be able to add a fountain. Maybe the plants will help. The plants should help. I think this will be fine though. I think that'll be okay. Okay. Yay. Huzzah. We can do it. We did it. Now we need art things. Art things and or plant things, and we will stick them places. Ooh, that is a little bit large. Okay. Also large, but really cool. I bet we could have fountains shooting out of that. Medium jet, that one. Then we could stick it in the middle. Okay, this is what I was looking for. I want some of these in the fountain as well. Something like this with plants on it. Ooh, a plant fountain. If I put this inside, can Sims walk around it? I don't know. We'll just shrink this down, because that's too cool. Would you like to think about water, sir? Plants. I think we need to make the 64 by 64 lot in San Myshuno a botanical garden. What if we put this one inside? I think that'll be alright. Oh, and then the little candle, floaty candle things. I don't think I want that either. Although that might look cool. Actually, that does look kind of cool. Okay. Did I actually ever pick a wallpaper? I don't think I did. Think about plants. Dance about plants. I know this is going to look like the plant is growing out of the floor, but I can adjust that by changing the floor texture over here. See? Totally fine. Ooh, this is fancy looking. Let's do this. Bippity boppity boo. Alright, I'm gonna go inside. So, this is what it's looking like. It probably smells really good in here. Maybe we need something else in front here. Okay, we're gonna add a chess table because that's a good idea, and then I think we should probably let this be and move on. I'm gonna use this matching stuff there. Okay, very pretty, very different to the bike shop, that's for sure. Alright, so far we've done the half timber, the Saltbox Craftsman Bungalow, the Dutch Colonial, Prairie Craftsman, and then we've spun 2 community lots so far. So we did a little bike shop where you can ride your bikes around, and a Botanical Garden, which is very pretty. And now we're going to spin for the last build in this row. Time to spin again. Cape Cod. Nice. Where am I going? Colonials. There we go. So we're going to pop back over to Colonial and we're going to grab the Cape Cod. So Cape Cod Colonials are very, very small. Again, 1.5 stories. We're not going to do the upper half story, we're just going to add dormers, but it should still look significantly different to the Dutch Colonial neighbor. Let's do this, and then we'll add dormers up top. When we're done with this lot, I will take a longer break, which will include restarting the game, which I think will benefit us all. Cape Cod can be any color you want as long as it's white. We just want a nice door with glass on top, something like this. And we're going to use the exact same windows we use on all of our colonials, our good old octapane, which will also go on these windows up here. Now preferably we should be using one with shutters. I think we do have enough space for that, which would just be white with black shutters. I should be able to actually split this pretty well just into 2 rooms, which is nice and small. How shall we pare it down further though? I don't want to do literally the exact same floor plan all over again, but I feel like I may do that. I might be able to do just 2 bedrooms on the side and a bathroom and then kitchen and dining. Outside, again, white with black accents, that's it. Some people get creative, some people choose other options, but in general it's just a lot of black and white. We do need some lighting, I suppose, so we can see. If you're newer to building, but you really want to be able to build a bunch of styles, the Colonials would be a good place to try and get some practice, because if you can build one, you can probably build the rest of them. We'll do a fridge, do a stove, dining, and living space all in there, and then a bathroom. Because these homes were so small, initially they may have been more on the open floor plan side, just due to size constraints. However, constructions newer than that would probably go for a slightly larger home but more closed off, since that was popular toward the beginning of last century. And then most recent constructions would probably be going back to the open floor plan again. So this has definitely been renovated a bit. I remember hearing somewhere the recent-ish transition back to open floor plans came from HGTV shows. You know what? I would not be surprised if that was the case. At least before heating was easier to get in other rooms. True. That was a big consideration as well, with heating and cooling and all that jazz. So now that we have air conditioning and furnaces and whole house climate control basically, we don't, that doesn't matter as much to us anymore. You also see different roof shapes on the same house depending on the climate. You'll see steeper pitched roofs on the north side because of snow, and you may see lower pitched roofs down south because they don't have to worry about the snow, they just need the rain to go away. Cape Cod would have been in the New England area mostly, the Cape Cod region, so you'll see steeper roofs on those guys. Okay, so let's bring up our little wheel. Hacienda style home. Now these are supposed to be huge. Oh, this is so small, because this would typically be like a farm style thing, like a family farm. So I'm gonna have this over here. I'm gonna loop it around this side and have a courtyard here, I think. And then we'll have a second level as well. Haciendita. That's cute. So I'm gonna do some hipped roof pieces, gonna pitch it down a bit. Very common in Mexico? Yes. So this will be found in the Mexico and southwest US area. So we're going to use our stucco outside. I think I'm just going to use the base swatch because I like it. And then we'll use what is this one? Mediterranean magic tile roof. And I like using the beveled out roof trim in a woodish tone for the edges of these. I'm trying to remember what the correct windows are. You know what? I have a Pinterest board of this. Okay, so this is what it's supposed to look like. We should have room for multiple courtyards, for outdoor walkways, for the water features and landscaping and stuff. We're just not going to be able to do that. So it's looking like taller windows than I was using and some arches. I can do that. We can work with that. Maybe we can actually grab this guy and then the complementary windows. Okay, so we can pull in a little bit more of that element then. And I bet I could do something similar up here too. This will help give it a little bit more character. But then for the actual windows, I think I'm going to go back to the base game because I just want to use the mega windows. They're really good for this. So we're going to use the arched options. Because this is generally built in a warmer climate, you're not going to see as many windows just because, you know, temperature regulation reasons, but we still can have more windows than in the Adobe home because this is a more recent style. I should probably figure out a floor plan. Can I put stairs here? I can. Delightful. Big bedroom, small bedroom, and bathroom upstairs. I think that's pretty good. We're going to use the same wall texture inside and outside for this one, which is common of homes built in this method. Yeah, I think I'll make this like a family hangout spot. Indoor and outdoor dining is really important in most of these styles. Let me think. I'm going to do indoor kitchen and dining and living here, but I am going to add an outdoor kitchen space. That sounds familiar. The more I think about it, the more I think it's correct. I don't understand why it's being grass textured like this. Like, that confuses me. And now it's fine. I don't know. It's fine. It's great. We have a covered area here. We'll do outdoor kitchen and dining as well as this sort of like extra hangout spot. I'll put a kitchen back here with dining, living, plenty of space. This will be a lovely home. Tile floors downstairs, wood floors upstairs, and we had votes for the Jungle Adventure floor, which is this one, and it is amazing, and I love it so much. How did I change the angle on the wood floors? So whatever key you use to rotate, you should be able to use to rotate your floors. So this is the default direction, but then if I use my comma and period keys, that lets me rotate the floors, which you can do all at once or tile by tile. So like if I were to do this and then go back with a rotated option, lots of fun. Okay, I'm going to throw down some kitchen stuff here. Nice big kitchen. Okay, we'll go with that. And we do have a matching refrigerator. Ooh, yeah, shiny fire engine red. Why not? Plus, doesn't Jungle actually have upper cabinets? See, they do actually have upper cabinets. I don't know why so many cabinet sets don't, but this one does. Cool, and then I'm also gonna add the outdoor kitchen space, which I think I'm probably just going to go with this because it's really nice and easy. Bam. That's not going to work. That's right in front of a door. But anyway, outdoor kitchen and dining space, family hangout spot, workshop, whatever. Traditionally, this would be more like an in-law suite. However, I do not think I'm going to be able to fit a whole in-law suite in there today. I can put a full bathroom upstairs though, so I've got that going for me. Nice combo unit there and a toilet. And a sink. Actually, let me just grab the same stuff I had downstairs because it's easier. I'm going to add some terrain paint, but I really don't think I have space for landscaping on this one. I think it's going to be a paint and done kind of day. I can add like desert style paint though, like it's leaking from the house. It's spreading its Mexico, California-ness. Here's our little neighborhood so far. This is something else. Alright, this is not an HOA friendly neighborhood. Wow. Now we're going to spin the wheel again. The time has come. Treehouse. Here we go. People have been waiting and waiting and waiting for a treehouse. So this is super exciting. So the most important thing you're doing when you're building a treehouse is picking your tree. Because you need something that you can actually like build around. Like this has way too many leaves. That's going to be really difficult to build in. We could do a jungle. Ooh, should we do a jungle treehouse? So now we'll grab some jungle trees. I actually don't even want to use this jungle tree. I want to use this one. This looks really good. Ooh, or that one. Our ficus. Literally the only criteria for a treehouse is it has to be supported by the tree to the point where if the tree was removed, the house would fall down. I think I kind of want to have part of the build like go around this tree, go up right up to the edge of the lot there. Not quite like that because I need a hole for the tree to grow through. I think that'll work pretty okay. Okay, so that'll be where that one's supported. I want this one to come through over on this side. For this, I'm going to use smooth keeper fence and draw a little diamond. Okay, so now that we've got this approximately sorted out, what I'm going to do is delete this floor, so now we just have our floating house, and now I'll make the shape actually make sense, as well as temporarily move these trees out of the way so I can build a little bit better. The game is running so well. How shall I adjust the shape of this? Because we need a little bit more space to like live and whatever, so I think I'll pull this out to there. And then upstairs, I think I'll just pull this out like this, probably. Make that a bedroom space, probably, with a deck. I think that'll be fun. Oh, this is supposed to be short walls. And then in theory, if I very carefully put my trees back, it should be a pretty good looking little house. I'm going to add like a walk around balcony type thing, I think, around. It won't be super practical, but I'm okay with that. And then I just need to replace the walls with railing. I want to use this one because it's like been thrown together. And then a floor trim as well. Yay. Oh, how bad is this going to look? Questionable at best, but that's okay. Let's use this one, because this one has holes in it, I think. Yeah. Cool. That'll work. Oh, I should probably share some fun facts about the history of the treehouse. So, treehouses are actually the oldest style of house that I have built on this channel. The oldest treehouses were from basically so far back that we don't really know. They've just sort of been around forever. They've been used as primary residences by people in Asia for quite a while, but they really gained popularity thanks to the French in the Renaissance. The French thought that tree houses were cool, so they made them into residences and restaurants and stuff like that. And then it just became popular to have a treehouse, or to go have dinner in a treehouse, or live in a treehouse. Now we have treehouses as actual residences for people outside of just the Southern Asian region, which I think is really neat. Not the jungle treehouse taking space from other future houses, just a little bit. It's kind of like overlapping. I think it'll be fine. We'll see. We'll see what ends up being on this side. I was doing floors. That's what I was doing. I think I'm gonna have to get rid of that other tree again for a little bit because it is in the way. There we go. It should disappear during gameplay. It's just not disappearing for me while I'm building, which is by design. I'm going to post these as videos on TikTok. Yep, I'll be doing it just how I did last time, where I'll edit it, and as it gets edited, upload it. It does take quite a bit to edit them. So we've got this. We do need an entry point. I think I'll use a ladder and have it come up here. That's pretty good. It goes right through the floor trim, but I'm okay with that. It's fine. Did I place these backwards? I bet I did. Yep. This should work for a bedroom space, because I really wanted the ladder to be over one, but it refuses to place there for whatever reason. I think a bed should fit here, so long as your scooch function isn't broken. If your scooch function is broken, it should go here, but then I don't know if the door is still going to work. We still need kitchen, bathroom, and living space. Where am I going to put a bathroom? I think this will work as a bathroom. It's kind of weird, but like the whole treehouse is weird, so I'm tempted to put the shower outside. Yeah, like this guy. Then we'll put the toilet and sink inside. It'll be great. This makes no sense, and that's okay. Here we go. Ooh, let's use this sink. I like this one a lot. It's so cool. Doesn't make really much sense to be in a treehouse. I do not care. It's really neat. So I should be able to pretty easily just put in a kitchen back here really quick, and then be good to go. Grab our jungle counters and a sink. And there's a kitchen that works. Oh, lighting. Did I put lighting in here? No, I didn't. It just looks silly because of the windows. Okay. And these trees, since they're all on the ground level technically, they should not interfere with gameplay at all. They'll just look like they're going to interfere with gameplay, but it should be totally fine. Oh, do you know what else we can do? Is we can actually take this and go to ceilings and basically paint the undersides of the decks with it so that when we look at it from below, we actually see the same boards. How cool is that? I am going to add a pond. Okay, that's fine. And then we need a different watercolor, obviously. Algae, which if I scale it up, that'll be fewer items on the lot. Let's add some mosquitoes and tadpoles, I think. Maybe a few plants. Okay, and some terrain paint. I'm afraid to add more landscaping because it is already running pretty rough. But if you download the lot, obviously you can do whatever you want. Add more paint, add more landscaping, add furniture, all that stuff. Little bit of a path to the ladder. Well, we finally got our treehouse. Hopefully the treehouse is satisfactory. I think it's fun and quite different to everything else going on the lot, so I'm pretty happy with it. Let's see what the next house is. Hopefully something we can build small and the treehouse isn't going to overlap too much, but I still think the treehouse is funny.
Wow.
A bakery. Oh, perfect. So this will be our last community lot of the day. Just build a little bakery. I think it'll be fun. I don't know why this is the shape I immediately envisioned, but it is. Okay, cool. So this is what I wanted here, and then we're gonna grab more platforms. Kind of a similar style to the bike shop, I guess. I think this is fun. Okay, and this is gonna be like a private little deck for eating your bakery snacks. What do we need in the bakery for it to function? Where is the cupcake machine? Am I just so used to ignoring it that I can't even see it anymore? Here we go. Hot pink bakery. Hang on, let me save. Does this please you? Is this enough pink? Yes, actually. Aggressive compliance. It is enough pink. I'm not doing pink floors. We are going to do nice white floors. It'll still be very pretty. We're doing white now. And then, oh, I need some inlaid floor trim actually is what I need over here. Very nice. We still need a front door as well. See, now it's less overwhelming pink, you know? If this is just a bakery, we don't need a stovetop. We can just grab the, these guys. Huzzah. That's splendiferous. I know we don't actually need this many refrigerators, but I'm going to add them there because I feel like you would have that many. And a register. These guys can have the fancy one. Okay, does that make sense? I think we're good. Ooh, those are fun. Okay, now we need a few little tables and things. Maybe this will be the party spot with a long table. Because I think this one uses bar stools. And then we'll get a light. It'll be great. Okay, so there's that, I guess. And then, is this another bar table? It is. Fascinating. I need a plant. Oh, you're the tiny one. No, I don't want the tiny one. Do I want this one? Yeah. Alright, so there's some plants. I'm gonna add some more lighting above the tables as well. Well, it's very, very pink. Cookies. Are they crackers? I don't know what they are, but it's a bakery and they're baked goods, so. Alright, I'm gonna pull this out to the sidewalk. I'm going to get rid of this gate since it is a public lot and add this gate instead. I think probably just a tree for lag reasons. Alright, I'm gonna have to shrink the tree a little bit for it to fit, but that'll work. And then we'll grab some terrain paint. A little bit of an outline here. Whoa. So this is how bright it is at nighttime because may I remind you that this wallpaper swatch glows. It'll be a bright beacon for all. Now we're gonna spin for this lot. A Suburban. Just a nice classic suburban home. What could go wrong? So we're gonna start with a rectangle. Wow. We're gonna add one of these and add one of these. Oh, this is running incredibly well. Oh, I'm very much lying. We're going to use a half gable. We're just going to pitch it down. It's going to be fine. So we're going to pull this back by holding shift. Then copy and place the same piece in the same place. And pull the eave back out, but pull this eave in. There we go. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. This is the part of the show where Sam contemplates punching a hole through the monitor because it's running so slowly.
You're gonna punch a monitor, punch the Lenovo.
If I'm gonna punch a monitor, punch the Lenovo. Not the Acer?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Fine. I'll keep that in mind. Maybe I'll do it on a 50 by 50 lot next time and only do 9 houses because this is rough. I feel like we should make it blue. What we should really also have though are some stone accents. It's just gonna be difficult. Maybe I'll just add extra columns. I'm gonna add some boards to the deck. Not those boards, these boards. Sure. And we're gonna try and add some windows as well. It's right next to the house. Do not let that be of a concern. It's fine. For doors and windows, let's use the Parenthood ones. My voice is dying, but it's fine. I need a door. So a suburban family home will typically have a main bedroom, master suite or whatever on the first floor, and then the rest of the bedrooms upstairs. So let's see if we can do that. I'll probably put the stairs toward the front of the house and do, goodness, a big main bedroom with a nice big ensuite. This could be kitchen, dining, living space. And then upstairs, oh, this should work pretty well for bedrooms then. I'll put one bedroom and a full bath on this side and a couple other bedrooms on this side. Okay, so there are some additional bedrooms upstairs. These home styles typically will often have a formal and informal dining space and or formal and informal living space. Not the case here today because reasons. And then inside I'm just going to grab some nice neutral tones. This may be one where we walk into the kitchen. I know the windows shouldn't be all the way up, but I'm going to put them there so that I can add the counters and everything. A very big kitchen usually, but again, not today. Yeah, this is questionable. Okay, it's fine. We'll put a sink over here, our range here, with the oven over here, because this is terrible. Nice one of these. This is a very, very new construction. Nice toilet paper. And then upstairs we'll do much the same thing. We may also have toilet paper, because we're feeling nice today. Okay, there's another bathroom. And 3 other bedrooms. This bedroom is kind of small as far as a suburban style home goes, so this may be dedicated as more of an office or nursery space. I really do not have space for landscaping here either, so I'll probably just grab my hedges again. It's a classic option anyway. This is what I've got for suburban style. Typically, it's going to be pretty boxy with a whole bunch of these like layered dormer looking things. Inside, you're going to see a lot of pretty big bedrooms, lots of bathrooms, very new. It wouldn't be surprising to have a 1-to-1 bedroom to bathroom ratio in these homes. It's kind of ridiculous. You may walk into the kitchen, generally open space for living. This particular home is a bit wonky, but that's okay. And yeah, there's our suburban style home. Isn't it fun? It's just, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to move that tree to build on this lot, I think. There is no way. Yeah, okay. Let us spin the wheel.
Wow.
A Hawaiian Plantation. How exciting! What I like so much about this build is it uses a lot of elements of traditional Polynesian architecture as well as newer building methods. So they use standardized lumber, they often have metal roofs, they use glass pane windows, but the layout, the idea of the low-pitched roof with like the big decks and the indoor-outdoor living and all that stuff they took from the traditional build styles, and some of the homes even still have the thatched roof, which is super duper cool. I've built like 4 or 5 of these, and I'm pretty sure they've all had pretty much the same floor plan. So we're gonna have a bedroom, and I'm gonna add a bathroom and another bedroom, and then over on this side is going to be kitchen and dining and living. Now I'm going to have to adjust this a bit because we also really need a deck, preferably a wraparound deck. So I'm gonna have to make things pretty small. Ooh, we're gonna see how this goes. To roof it, I'm going to start with a hipped roof piece, and I'm going to cover the whole thing and pitch it down. And then on top of that, I'm going to going to grab a gable and place it basically just where the actual house is, and we'll see how this lines up. Yeah, that's alright. So that's our roof shape. I think I'll pitch it down a little bit and bring in these eaves. Might pull it in a smidge. Do we have a better lighting direction? Kind of. I'm going to use a stilted foundation. Usually if you have a wraparound deck, you just have to put foundation on the outside and then it doesn't really matter, but you have to make sure you put the stilted foundation everywhere, otherwise it'll still show concrete in the middle. Oh my goodness gracious. You know what? I just want to use island living for this one. It's going to be the best option anyway. We're going to do big windows. This is one of the slightly less traditional things. So this door is 2 tiles, but you can actually place stuff on this tile here because it's not actually where the Sims have to walk. So that is good to know, since this is going to be a bathroom. Now I have to figure out how on earth this is going to come together. I'll probably get rid of these windows over here so I can put the kitchen on this wall. Do a nice little kitchen here. For roof textures, we could do a thatched roof, or we could do a metal composite roof, both of which are actually in the pack already. So here's some example of the metal roof, and we also have the thatched one. The thatched one does come with trims as well, which is fun, so I think we'll go with that. And these homes generally have vertical but brightly colored siding, which again actually comes in the pack. You look like a nice color. I think this will be a fine kitchen. I do need to add a sink. I also find that the Snowy Escape and Island Living packs work really well together. If you wanted it to be more traditional as well, then you'd go for more open windows like these from Jungle Adventure, or the open windows in the Island Living pack. I like putting these in the kitchen because I feel like it's ventilation, but still protects you from birds flying into your soup. I do need some columns though. I like trying to line them up with the stilts because I feel like that makes sense, and I'm not going to put them all around the build because we're already lagging, but you should put them all around. I'm just not going to. Okay, so there's a little bathroom, nothing too exciting. I'm gonna mute my mic for a couple of minutes because my dad's here, but I'm going to go ahead and landscape this. So I'll still landscape, you just won't hear my voice talking. So Hawaiian Plantation, this roof shape is generally borrowed from the more traditional builds on the island, and then some of the newer stuff includes standardized lumber, glass windows, and indoor plumbing.
Wow.
The American Tudor or Tudor Revival style. So a couple of the main differences you're going to see in the Tudor Revival when compared to the European Tudor that we actually built first is this is generally made out of bricks. Also the windows typically have white casings, but some of the similar things is we're going to see that really steeply pitched roof, and we're still going to see the same small, generally covered front entry and those arched doors. So this is one of my favorite reference images. I think it's absolutely beautiful. The Tudor Revival had a pretty short run as far as architectural styles go in the US. It was built for rich people, and then the Great Depression hit, and people stopped building stuff. So yeah, pretty short run initially. However, they are still being built. It's just like its original run was pretty short. We should probably make this 2 levels. I'm gonna do kitchen and dining over on this side. I'm gonna move this house actually. Push it back a little bit so I can have a little bit more dimension on the front of the build, I think. So I should be able to just bring this out a little bit, so that will help. We will also be seeing the oriel windows still with this style. This one is really base game friendly too, which I really would like to point out. A lot of styles aren't super duper base game friendly, but this one really is. These do tend to be on a slightly higher foundation than the originals, but that's because of where they're built. For example, we have a lot of these in Michigan, where I live, and we also have a lot of rain and stuff where I live, so it's really quite important that we have adequate foundations and drainage. We should be able to pretty easily fit a few bedrooms up here though. Alright, so there are some bedrooms. I'll put a nice bathroom here. There we go, and then this landing area can be office, library, whatever. And then kitchen, dining, living all downstairs. Generally these are going to be significantly larger, but not the case today. We are going to do all red brick though. So I'm going to go ahead and start with brick stairs. I'm going to grab brick foundation, and then I'm going to do brick exterior as well. Some of the homes may have some of that half timber stuff on it as well. However, it would be purely decorative, not built in at all. It'd basically be painting the wall white and gluing wood onto it. We should also add a fireplace. I need to think about that. Now, traditionally the Tudor Revival style will have a hipped roof piece as sort of its like main roof piece. However, I don't really like hipped roof pieces very much. I just don't like the silhouette they give the build, and I really don't like it when it's a very square build because it just has the tiny little ridge line up top. So while it's slightly less common, I do tend to use the gables instead because I like them better, but for the sake of historical accuracy, I will let you know so that you can make the decision yourself. Why are you not shrinking? It's weird. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to hold shift to push this in so that I can copy and place the same roof piece and get rid of the eaves on the side. I feel like we should add a dormer as well, just because it's so empty up here. Oh, another thing that we can do here actually is that this doesn't necessarily have to be a front-facing gable. It could also be a half-hipped or half-gable roof. Alright, let's see if we can change out this roof trim next. That looks good. We're going to be using shingles, sometimes a metal roof, but for the most part shingles. And I definitely want some floor trim on this space here. And then the 2-pane windows. These guys. The double hung. That's the word. These trees are so getting in the way. Oh my goodness. I might have to place the windows from the inside just because of the trees. Our neighbor's treehouse is causing us many issues. I think I'm going to place the fireplace here, and I want arches for downstairs. I also need to sort out flooring and wallpaper. Good old-fashioned hardwood. Ooh, I do really like the eco lumber stuff. And for the walls, you can go with the this one, the stucco sandwich on sourdough. This would bring in some of that half timber idea, which some people may like, right? So we can kind of see how that sort of looks like this wallpaper way over here. What am I looking for? I want one that has a wooden trim at the bottom and at the top. And I thought we had that, and the only one I'm seeing is the one with the stripes. And I don't want that with the stripes. Oh, this might work actually. There we go. This is what I wanted. Oh, this room didn't get floor either. Fascinating. Well, everything's painted now, so that's nice. We do still need a front door. It is generally still going to be that medieval idea of it being sort of arched, something like this, or like this. Ooh, I like that one. I like that. Okay, cool. And then I'm gonna put the kitchen here. I understand why people want the latest and greatest and make things modernized and all that stuff. Like, I understand it. However, I really hope I have the opportunity to move into and sort of, like, properly fix up an older home. Actually figure out what's wrong with it, figure out what's good from the history that we should keep, and figure out what's maybe not so great and fix that up. You know, like lead-based paint. Maybe we don't keep the lead-based paint, no matter how historically accurate it may be. This would be a good opportunity for a kitchen table. I'm not going to add one. And I will do the bathroom as well. The bathroom doesn't get windows. That's okay. Learning that there's so many more things in the game watching the stream. That's one of my favorite things about doing the shell challenges with you guys, is you seem to always find items that I just completely never saw in the game, because then I'll be going through the shell challenges and obviously I have it because it's showing up in the build, and then I get the opportunity to be like, oh my gosh, I do have this amazing item. I need to move the gate, and we're for sure doing a brick path. And since this is American, I'm going to go back to classic sort of suburban style landscaping with just a few bushes and hydrangeas, pretty much our American Tudor. So if we take a quick look at this one, this roof wouldn't be as steeply pitched, though we still have the covered entry, the wider collection of windows, and the arched door, as opposed to the European Tudor or half timber home, which is very similar and yet completely different, which is super cool. Alright, ready? We've got two more.
Wow!
Italianate Victorian. How exciting. So unlike most Victorian styles, the Italianate home has a pretty low-pitched roof, which you can see here. It's quite boxy, and it has quite large overhanging eaves with this frieze along the top. Let's do kitchen dining. I'll pull some living around this. Ooh, actually, we're gonna need a bit of a deck. We'll have an entry with stairs and then an office, I think, on the first floor. I don't think I'm gonna do a huge front porch. I think I'm just gonna do a little one because I want to give this a little bit of a shape. We already did a square one. How the heck am I gonna do stairs? I guess like that. Okay, so we'll do a bedroom here. Do a couple of bedrooms over here. Do I think the game's struggling a little? I do. For this guy, I'm going to use this door, one of the fancier looking ones. And for doors inside, gosh, we can use this one. It has the Shoot, what's the part above it called? Help. It's important for temperature regulation and all that jazz. This is the perfect window to use, by the way. And I don't remember if fireplaces are on interior walls or exterior walls, so if I get this wrong, I'm really sorry, but I'm pretty sure it's interior walls. Wait, I can check the chimneys. Transom! Thank you so much, Autumn. Transom, that's what it is. It looks like, according to the chimneys on here, we are looking at external walls. That is good to know. Okay, so I'll place it over on this side then. Okay, it's actually just occurred to me, I don't think I can put a frieze on here. I'm gonna have to use a floor trim, which is disappointing. Okay, so now I need to grab some floor pieces and place them down. All right, now that we have a floor in place, we can grab a floor trim. Not quite as extravagant as the frieze that I would like to use, but it will work. Bricks or siding? We just did a brick one, so I think we'll do siding. I'm doing pink because it's right across the street from the Pink Bakery, and I feel like whoever lives here owns that establishment. Alright, I don't like that the windows appear to be so off-center, so we're gonna have to pull this over, I think. And then I'm gonna grab some nice shingles. Alright, so now we have to pick some flooring. I think I'm going to go with just some classic wood floors because I don't know that it's going to matter. I don't remember if it matters. Tone it down a little bit. That's kind of bright. Again, if you want the most historically accurate information, I highly recommend checking out the original videos because most of it has leaked out of my brain at this time. Okay, wallpapers. Probably the stuff with the paneling again. Just doing 2 bathrooms. We're gonna make them the same. This feels fancy. There, the toilet right in front of the window again. I know you guys really appreciate when I do that, so there's that just for you. So we're gonna do a kitchen at the back of the build. Again, this would typically have some sort of kitchen table in it as well. Ooh, I think we'll just do nice white counters. Why not? And I'm putting the stove on the outside because you'll often find stoves in older homes where the fireplaces used to be. I don't know why exactly. We'll grab a sink. Alright, how about some flowers? That's delightful. Beautiful. Couldn't ask for a better house. Let's add some terrain paint and move on. Oop, we forgot a mailbox. For shame. You know what we should add here? Some outdoor lights. We haven't added outdoor lights to any of the homes, but I think that this would be a good place to add some. Alright, no more decorations though. No more. The lot is already struggling, but that is cute. Now, I did see a recommendation to just pick my favorite style to do the last lot. However, it's not like this is going to be the last one of these videos that we do, so I am totally down to just spin the wheel again and then come back to this again in the future when I feel like torturing myself further. Wow. MCM, let's go. Alright, so the mid-century modern style. It is generally going to be an open floor plan, where we're going to see living, dining, kitchen, all that sort of stuff on the one side, and then a hallway with bedrooms to the other side. Also, mid-century homes and ranch-style homes were built literally at the same time, so they are generally quite similar, but a mid-century home is more likely to have platforms, it's more likely to have a slightly more unique shape, and then the roof and the windows are just completely different. So, I'm just thinking how I want to roof this. An asymmetrical gable is usually the way to go. However, I've shot myself in the foot with this situation over on this side. So I think I'll go with an asymmetrical gable. So I'm going to start with a half gable and pitch it down about as far as I want it to be. Hold shift to pull that eave in, pull it out toward the front, and I'm going to pull the other eaves out one additional little unit. And then I'm going to copy and rotate and place it, and then hold Alt while I adjust this side to keep the height the same. Well, it was supposed to keep the height the same, but I guess the game doesn't feel like playing nice today. So now it's an asymmetrical gable. It'll be easier to see from this side. That's how that works. Okay, I think that'll work. It's clipping a little bit. I don't care. Oh, and then we're going to grab half walls for the top of the chimney here. Okay, cool beans. So there's our mid-century house. How exciting. Inside, we'll do it. Okay, I'll do it for you. I'm only going to be able to put the living room down one level because otherwise the fireplace won't work. It has a funny thing about platforms. I know you're shocked. Platforms causing issues in the game. I'm just as shocked as you are. Okay, we're all shocked together. I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these more modern looking ones. That's great. Alright, so before we finish the inside, let's talk about our window and siding options. So, gosh, this is awkward. Hello, house. Lots of beige. Long, skinny bricks or horizontal siding is pretty much the way to go. For example, this ornate brick. This would be a really good one. And you could definitely do a mix of brick and siding. That's quite common. You are all way too vibrant and happy. I need beige. And then for the roof, we could do shingles or we could do a metal roof, whichever one seems to make more sense for you. I don't think we've really done a metal roof yet, so I might go with that. I also always recommend grabbing chimneys to place inside your chimney so that it will actually smoke. Otherwise, it'll just be a hole. Alright, so there are a couple of chimneys. They are uneven because of course they are. And then for doors and windows, a lot of base game stuff is really good for this. So if we go back to base game, This is classic, right? Or this one perhaps would be good. And then the same deal for the windows. We want floor to ceiling. More modern versions would be full-on panes of glass, full to ceiling like this, or we could do something more narrow, or this one with the slightly smaller panes of glass for science reasons, I guess, production, expense. This too, this window in particular. We do not have trash bins, like on the lot. I wonder if that's a problem. Maybe I'll put a dumpster out here. Hang on. Not a graffiti one. These are fancy people. They do not allow graffiti. I'm going to grab some lighting. And while that loads in, we'll grab some doors. Typically the kitchen should have like a sliding glass door out to a nice large porch, probably with a pool. That is not going to happen today. We're going to go with just some nice classic beige counters over here. And a nice matching classic beige island. Of course we have to have a matching stove and refrigerator. Oops. Ooh, and sink. I think I will start with some wood floor, but we could also use carpet in the living and sleeping areas, and we could go for linoleum in the kitchen and bathroom if we wanted to. Landscaping, we should generally have some sort of pool or family hangout type thing. However, that's really not going to happen today. Maybe another tree? That works. Okay, cool. And now some terrain paint. Let's see, as far as mid-century style tutorials go, I have like the full-length, full-size version, but I think I also have one that's just like a 1-minute tutorial type thing, if that's something you'd be interested in. Save. Welcome to the tiny town of tiny homes. Outside we have a bus stop and a trash bin for your convenience. Now all the homes here are move-in ready. They have kitchens and bathrooms and the floor plan and everything in place, but they are not furnished. If they were furnished, I think my computer would be on fire. First up in the tour is the Prairie Craftsman style home. Some of the core elements of the Prairie Craftsman style include a strong emphasis on my favorite, horizontal lines. We've got the strong horizontal line of the low-pitched roof. You'll notice that most of our windows, except this set here, are going to be longer than they are tall. The stone and then the thick columns of wood. The stone, this thing that's a shape of Craftsman. I need a refresh button on my brain. We have a European Tudor or half timber. You'd set up these timbers, then you'd have your mixture of wattle and daub and plaster and whatever else that would be used in your specific region to build this home. Windows would generally be grouped in 2 or 3. You very rarely see a standalone window. And you're going to see a lot of oriel windows, which are these windows which sort of stick out above the floor below. Now the Saltbox Colonial started out as an I-frame house, which just means a rectangle that happens to be 2 stories. However, adding an addition to the back became so popular that soon these homes were actually being built in this shape to begin with, which resembled the salt storage boxes of the time, hence Saltbox Colonial. So this is a Craftsman Bungalow. So it's a Craftsman style home. We see the Craftsman windows, the Craftsman railing, the Craftsman columns, the general Craftsman layout. Usually these are 1.5 stories. For this one we just went with the fake dormer thing because it is small. Our next home is the Dutch Colonial, also known primarily for its roof shape. Here is the sort of shape of that Dutch Colonial home. You'll often also see just one primary dormer. They could be covered in shingles or siding or be brick or stone. The next one that we have on the lot is the Cape Cod, these dormers. There could be 3, there could be 5 if it's a little bit bigger, but they're always going to be quite narrow. In game speak, they're going to be 1 tile. Originally these were so small, it'd be like 1, maybe 2 rooms on the main floor, and then everybody would sleep in the attic. A lot of the newer homes are quite a bit larger, but this is actually pretty true to the original size. They're originally quite small. This is our Suburban home. Of course, we had to make it blue to honor little Simsy, the queen of the Suburban. So this is the most recent style. You see this in a lot of American subdivisions that are being put up currently. You're going to see a lot of dormers and sort of stacked, whatever this is called, still not 100% sure. You'll see covered decks. You'll often see family-centered areas like a pool. Another thing you're going to see in this style that is not common with other multi-story styles is the main bedroom is going to be on the 1st floor. Over here, tucked away in the corner, is our mid-century modern home. Just from this angle, we can already see most of the main elements that make the mid-century so mid-century. The floor-to-ceiling windows, an abundance of beige, this low-pitched roof, an asymmetrical gable, which you can't see as well from this angle, but that's because the lot is tight. You'll frequently see the chimney at the front of the house here, sort of helping shield the front door. Next up is our Italianate Victorian home. Pretty much the only Victorian that's going to have a low-pitched roof on it. Most of them are quite steep, and it will have a frieze under the roof. Next up is the American Tudor or Tudor Revival style home, and you're going to see some overlap with our European Tudor, including that oriel window, the same door shape. However, you're going to see 2 pane windows, white trim on the windows, white columns, stuff like that. So pretty much brick construction. You may see some half timber decorative elements. However, it's not actually half timber construction. We don't do that in the United States for multiple reasons, including fire safety. So that's cool. Still at it? Yeah. So TikTok says 8 hours and 26 minutes. So Whoopsies! Hey, new longest stream record. This is the Hawaiian Plantation style. Typically, you're going to see this general roof shape where you have this hip roof piece very low pitched covering the whole thing, including the wraparound deck, and then a steeper pitched gable up top. This is also frequently done in a way to allow multiple generations to live together. So this, we spun Hacienda. However, it's really hard to build a massive multi-generational family farm in approximately a 16 by 14 space. So we did our best. We have indoor kitchen as well as outdoor kitchen and dining areas, as well as a covered entry. Haciendita, that's right. So this is just a little bike shop. We didn't spin a style for this. I just thought something with some sort of carport, bike port would work well. Fun, and then inside there's also a vending machine for snacks. Now my favorite lot on the build is the Botanical Garden. I don't think your Sims can walk on these stones, but it kind of looks like you can, so that's cool. Here's what the inside is looking like. I can practically smell it. Like, I feel like it would smell so good in here. We also spun a bakery. So here's our very pink bakery. This should work totally fine as a bakery if you decide to turn this into a retail lot. Oh, also important to note, this particular wallpaper is from Spa Day. It's animated and it glows. And then we also built a treehouse. The one rule for something being a treehouse is it has to be supported by a tree, which we accomplished here. We do have a bathroom and a dining area and a kitchen and all sorts of stuff. There's an outdoor shower because it's kind of tight for space inside. This tour is running real smoothly, so that's nice. There's our lot. I will put this on the gallery. If you ever furnish it or do any sort of videos with this lot, please do. First off, 110% permission to do whatever the heck you want with this. And please tag me on any platform if you share it anywhere, or join the Discord and send screenshots or whatever, because I genuinely love seeing what people do with stuff that I build, and this lot is definitely no exception.